What's going on, guys? RGT85 here with an RGT News Quickie. Sometimes news breaks and we need to cover it, and sometimes it's good to have a quickie. Now, the Nintendo Switch's online service has something that a lot of Nintendo Switch owners have been looking forward to. They're wanting information on it. They want to know more about this product service before it launches this September. What are we paying $20 for a year exactly? Well, Nintendo of America just updated their website with a whole bunch of information on Nintendo's online service, and there's a lot of cool stuff in here to go over. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course, and let's go over all of the details about Nintendo Switch's online service launching this September 2018.
RGT News coming at you right now. Woo! RGT85 coming to you with the freshest video game news. Now take it away.
Alright, so starting things off, of course, the online service will allow for online play with your games. Battle it out or cooperate with players around the world in compatible games such as Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Tennis Aces, Sushi Striker, and more. Now, of course, this is pretty much a given. If you're having an online service, you pretty much need to have some online games for it. So obviously, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the user bases of those games as the Nintendo Switch moves to a paid subscription model for their online services. Obviously, you can play games like Mario Kart 8, ARMS, Splatoon 2 right now on your Nintendo Switch with free online, but come September, you will need to pay for the online services to access these games. Now, let's get things really interesting. There will be 20 NES games at the launch, with more games regularly added that feature online play. Yes, there will be NES games with online play. And the games that are listed, so far they've listed 10 of the games, and that is Soccer, Tennis, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Dr. Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Super Mario Brothers 3. So that's going to be very interesting to see. A lot of those games are not necessarily multiplayer games. You look at a game like The Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Brothers 3, I'm not quite sure how online is going to work with that. Maybe there'll be some sort of online leaderboard system where you're constantly competing with other people. I'm not quite sure how they'll work in the online aspect of it. It could be some sort of cooperative thing, competitive thing. I'm not quite sure. When you look at games like Soccer, Tennis, and Mario Brothers, of course, Balloon Fight, those are games that definitely lend themselves to an online experience and multiplayer experience. But the 10 announced games, pretty interesting stuff. There will be 10 more games announced for this service as time goes on, probably closer to the release date, maybe even something at E3, but definitely interesting to see. We knew that this sort of thing was coming to the Nintendo Switch's online service. We just didn't know how many games there would be and what sort of games there would be. So those 10 games, Soccer, Tennis, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Dr. Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Super Mario Brothers 3 will be 10 of the 20 games that will be available at launch for the service. Now, the next feature is absolutely fantastic, something that everyone has wanted this entire time, and that is Save Data Cloud Backup. Save your data online for easy access. Details about this feature will be available before the paid service launches in September. So yes, cloud saves are coming. So now you don't have to worry about all of your Nintendo Switch data. You know, something goes wrong with your Nintendo Switch and then you lose all of the data. It's definitely something that a lot of people have been asking for when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, and now it is finally coming to the system. So that's a huge sigh of relief for Nintendo Switch owners. I think that's very important to include this sort of thing, because honestly, let's face it, in this day and age of where things can go wrong with your hardware, having everything on the hardware and then you losing everything, it sucks. Now everything will be tied into the cloud so you can access your saved data from anything. So super awesome. Good job, Nintendo. Thank you for finally adding that. Next up, the Nintendo Switch Online app. You can enhance your online experience with this app. So what does that mean exactly? Well, voice chat is coming, but it looks like it'll be through this stupid app. And I know, I do hope that they do something with this app to make it not just on cell phones. They didn't say it's just restricted to the cell phones. When you go to the website to look at it, it still only shows the online thing with Splatoon 2, which was how you did voice chat in Splatoon 2 by using your cell phone and some gaudy setup. Now, this does kind of lend itself to me believing believing that the Nintendo Switch Online app will be accessible on your actual Nintendo Switch and not necessarily through the cell phone, but it does not state anything really more than that. It's pretty vague on that, so that is something worth noting. And then there will be special offers on news and things for different members. Of course, you can get a individual membership for $3.99 a month, or for 3 months, it's $7.99, 12 months is $20. There's also a family membership with 12 months for $35. So I'm going to assume that that's sort of multiple accounts that you can use your Nintendo Switch Online with. If that's the sort of thing you want to do, more than likely you have to get the family account. There is an FAQ, but there's not a whole lot to it. They just go over some different things. They do go over how you would use, if you do not purchase Nintendo Online, how you would be able to do things online with your system. Yes, online features include Nintendo eShop, friend registration and management, the sharing of screenshots over social media networks, Nintendo Switch parental controls, system and software updates, and Nintendo Switch news will not be affected by this. But basically, if you want to play your games online, you're going to have to get Nintendo's online service. So what do I think of the online service? Basing it on what we've seen so far right here, pretty damn solid. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, I actually talked about this on the Spawncast this past Saturday night. You know, going into an online service, especially it being Nintendo, I kept my expectations low. You know, for $20 a year, obviously it's not going to have all the bells and whistles of something like Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network. Pretty much all I wanted was something similar and, you know, similar and in line with the original Xbox Live on the original Xbox. For me as an online gamer, I don't really require much. Can I talk to people? Can I send people messages? Is there cool stuff to do online? Basic works for me when it comes to online services. And the fact that there's cloud saves on here is definitely a huge step in the right direction. The fact that there will be voice chat through this Nintendo Switch Online app is a good thing, pending that they put it on the actual system. I do not want to have to use my cell phone in order to talk to people online. I should just be able to access it through the system. The system can natively do it, so there's really no excuse for that. Obviously, they're probably holding back that announcement, but more than likely, I fully expect the online app to be available on the Nintendo Switch system. But the real cool thing I think about this is definitely the NES games online. I expected maybe, you know, 1 or 2 games initially at the launch of the service to have some online capabilities, but the fact that there's going to be 20 and they're actually pretty interesting games, you know, pretty fun games that I'm curious to check out is really cool. Like I said, you've got games like Donkey Kong, you've got games like Dr. Mario, games that really lend themselves to a multiplayer competitive aspect, but then you have question mark games, Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda. How are those games going to have some online capabilities? Is it just timed runs or things like that? I don't know. It'll be pretty interesting to see, but all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with what we got today. Pending that this Nintendo Switch Online app is accessible through the console itself, I think this is a winner. It's solid. It gets all the basic features out of the way. You have cloud saves, you have voice chat, you have online services, you know, up to snuff and decent enough for 2018. At $20 a year, honestly, it's a really good deal in my opinion. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more. I'm curious to what the other 10 NES games are, when they're going to start to announce Super Nintendo games, and of course, when they're going to announce virtual console stuff, because this, of course, is outside of Virtual Console. This is not the Virtual Console setup. This is simply Nintendo's online service. We still have a lot to learn about Virtual Console, what it is, what consoles are going to be on there. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting situation and, you know, something pretty cool. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Nintendo's online service. Are you satisfied with the features? Are you glad that there's cloud saves? Will you be spending $20 a month or $20 a year, excuse me, to access Nintendo's online service and have access to cloud saves, have access to all of these NES games, and of course have access to online multiplayer with voice chat? Because me personally, it's a no-brainer. I've got to do it. I have a PSN account. I have an Xbox Live account. What's another account, right? Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I like to do news videos every Wednesday and Friday morning at 9 a.m. with RGT News. And whenever news breaks, I do an RGT News Quickie. If I don't want to wait to talk about it, I just do a video on it. We got all sorts of videos on here. Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, retro gaming, Sega stuff, all sorts of fun stuff here on the channel. I hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you really enjoyed this video, check out all the links in the description box down below. We got Patreon, t-shirts, social media, all sorts of ways to keep up to date with the world of RGT 85, what's going on in the personal life, what's going on in the video scene, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.
RGT!